In the latest chapter of Boruto TBV VORTEX, Boruto and KAWAKI finished their confrontation with JURA, and now Boruto was about to use FTG to get everyone back to the Land of Fire. There's been a lot of commotion surrounding the Shinju and their movements, especially now since at the end of said chapter, KASHIN KOJI confirmed that MOMOSHIKI was going to be going after Ada because of the timeline shift. Besides that, it seems everything is starting to go according to plan. And the plan I'm currently talking about is KOJI's master plan of defeating the surrounding Shinju and getting rid of all JURA's support so that it increases the likelihood of defeating him. And so far, it's been looking good. Konohamaru is in possession of Matsuru's Thorn Soul and he's getting ready to save Moegi with it. And on Araya's side, he has Ryu's Thorn Soul and should be on his way to Shinki and Gaara to save the both of them. So I guess you can say right now, the Shinju aren't in the greatest shape. JURA just lost 2 major pieces, and if MOMOSHIKI goes to Konoha now, it might be 3 major pieces lost, especially if he has to go to battle against Damon. Right now I feel like everything is going in Konoha's favor. A little too much. It might be time to start shaking things up. And I think I know just how we can make that happen. But before we get into the video, I would like to kindly ask for you to leave a quick like on the video, as it helps me extremely in the YouTube algorithm. But anyway, let's get it on, guys. So when we look at characters stuck in no man's land, who do you think of? I don't know about you, but the first person I think of is Code. I mean, Code is an awkward character. He's been more of a comedic character ever since KAWAKI shamelessly beat him to a pulp. And ever since then, it's been pretty much downhill for him. But when Boruto destroyed Code in chapter 3, that officially put him out of the story for good. He's just really a character with no purpose, and he has a goal that seems unachievable to say the least. Without Boruto and KAWAKI, he can't achieve his goal of attaining the Chakra fruit. He couldn't be Boruto, and KAWAKI at this point was too much of a hassle to capture too. Whether you believe Code was able to defeat KAWAKI at the start of TBV VORTEX or not, he still had the majority of Konoha backed on his side, and since Boruto was a rogue shinobi, it made him an easy target for the likes of Code, with the least amount of effort too. So now after Boruto sent Code flying and the Shinju were birthed, Code no longer has a way to achieve his goal, and he doesn't have control of the Ten Tails anymore. He's lost everything, betrayal after betrayal. It wasn't until JURA had his confrontation with Code when his life started to spark a comeback. In this scene, JURA told Code to kill both Boruto and his accomplice KASHIN KOJI. It's only then will JURA offer him the Chakra fruit. Code agrees to this proposition, but there's actually one problem with that. And I'm pretty sure we all know what it is. Even though he was given this opportunity, he's still in no man's land. Because it's true, he may have a new replenished role in the story, but that role is leading him nowhere. In his current position, he can't quite kill Boruto. He lacks the strength and ability to do so. Even if you think he can kill KASHIN KOJI, despite prescience being involved, that would still leave only half of the deal accomplished. For him to truly keep his end of the bet, both Boruto and Koji need to be dealt with. That's why he said Boruto and his unnamed accomplice. So yeah, this is pretty much out of reach for Code, which is why many people thought Code might take a different path if he was going to be reinstated back into the story. One of the possibilities was him turning a new leaf and starting his redemption arc. I, for one, thought this was a well thought out conclusion for Code's character. I mean, it would kind of be poetic if Code proved Matsuri wrong about him being a clown who is destined to keep being used by everyone. Maybe he realized his wrongdoings and decided to save the earth from the monsters that he created. And although that could still be a possibility, this isn't the direction that he's currently choosing to take. Another direction for someone of his character is simply to become a sacrifice. A sacrifice of any kind really, to help defeat JURA, or perhaps save a character that's about to be killed by one of the Shinju. It seemed like a good send-off for a character like him. And it kind of more or less redeems him to a point where he's not just regarded as another dud of a character. It's just to give him more use as a character, you know what I mean? These were the directions I seen IKEMOTO taking regarding Code's character. But looking a bit further, I think we may be in for something really unexpected. This could be the perfect chance for Code to truly be revived as a force to be reckoned with in the story. And it's a path I really didn't see coming, but now it's as clear as day. I see the path IKEMOTO plans to take regarding Code. If we look back to right after Ryu was born, We see that Code was lurking in the shadows, until he was eventually caught by Ryu's sensory ability. And that kind of brings up the next point I'm trying to make. The way Code operates, he's more of a stealthy type of opponent. He tends to be a little bit more secretive in his approach with unfamiliar territory. And we can see that when he placed a claw mark onto the back of Shikamaru's neck. With his ear through the claw mark, it allowed him to infiltrate Konoha and eavesdrop on certain conversations that would give him the information that he needed to hear. So we can more or less see him doing the same thing here, which should automatically tell you everything you need to know about how Code moves. Before he acts, he'll be sure to survey the area and plan his next move accordingly. That should likely yield the most success. Code is no idiot. He pretty much knows how strong Boruto is. He remembers that whooping he took, and he likely knows that KAWAKI has gotten another massive power amp. So him coming to this conclusion, the number one thing he knows he needs is power. Power of any sort, really. Even if he doesn't know about KAWAKI removing his limiters, he still knows he needs power because of Boruto. You know, even now, he's weaker than he was when he fought against Boruto because of his missing hand. So now it's a beautiful time for Code to realize his own flaws and act accordingly. Right now, the situation in Tsunagakure has climaxed, and things are starting to calm down. Right after Sarada defeated Ryu, Mitsuki told Araya to go deliver his Thorn Soul back to Shinki. He sent him on his way, but little does he know, he's not going to be able to save them without trouble. I think we can all agree that what Code needs now is power. I believe Code is somewhere lurking in the shadows looking for a prime opportunity to kill Araya and take Ryu's Thorn Soul for himself. And there's plenty of ways he can go about it. If you don't think he could have been eavesdropping on certain conversations in the Land of Wind to get the necessary information, then he could have gotten this information elsewhere. Ryu and Yodo are exceptional sensory types. So odds are if he was present any time in Tsunagakure, he would risk the possibility of either one of them sensing him and calling it out. But it's also possible because of all the other factors playing a role, like all the fighting and different chakras clashing, then there's a chance Code could go unnoticed. He even could have been known about Matsuru's appearance in the Land of Wind, therefore having knowledge on Shinki and Gaara's condition. So there's another possibility. All I'm really trying to say is there's a number of different possibilities that Code could have knowledge on the sequence of events. More knowledge than we all may think. So regarding Code's goal of obtaining the Thorn Soul, we don't necessarily know everything there is to know about the Thorn Soul, or if it's even consumable. However, what we do know is it houses power inside of it, and its source is of the Ten Tails. There's always been speculation and suspicion that Code could be after the Thorn Soul, but there was no evidence in his claim. However, looking into it a bit further, this could be his only method in gaining strength. Each Shinju houses incredible power, comparable or even surpassing that of Jigen. So if Code is able to gain access of this power, that would make him about twice as strong as he was before. At this point, Ryu's Thorn Soul is the most obtainable. Matsuru's is protected by Konohamaru, Boruto, Mitsuki, and KAWAKI. But when it comes to Araya, essentially he might be alone. Actually, when I think about it, in one of KASHIN Koji's visions, we can vividly see Inojin, Himawari, and possibly even Shikadai. From the look of things, they should be in the exact same place that Shinki and Gaara are being held. And if we look at Himawari's facial expression, as well as the body language of Inojin and Shikadai, and I know you can't really see them, but their body looks tense, almost like they're on guard. You can even see Inojin weaving some type of hand sign, most likely a type of mind transmission technique to contact Konoha. Himawari's face nearly confirms it too. She has an intense look on her face, like she's in trouble. And this trouble could very well be Code trying to obtain Ryu's Thorn Soul. I believe if Shikamaru sent Team 10 to the Land of Wind, Himawari must have found a way to tag along on this mission without having Shikamaru find out, probably just to be as much help as she can. But that's not important. All that matters is there is some type of commotion going on, and Team 10 is in the middle of it. If this vision means something, and Araya actually gotten backup from Konoha, then essentially we'll be looking at a possible battle between Team 10 and Araya versus Code for the Thorn Soul. The thing that makes Code so dangerous is the fact that he shares the same ability as the Shinju, being the claw marks, which means he can get anywhere they can using these claw marks. It's like something they share. Since we've seen Matsuri here, and we know she of course has access to the claw marks, it should be no trouble for the likes of Code to get there to perform some type of ambush. Now let's talk a little bit about the Thorn Soul and how it can potentially affect Code. So first off, what is a Thorn Soul bulb? Essentially, it's the core of the Shinju. It contains everything necessary for that specific Shinju to exist. The victim's chakra signature, their soul, and it allows for that Shinju's resurrection if not rotted or destroyed. It also saves the victim if returned to the original source. In simple terms, it could potentially be power in the form of a mini chakra fruit for Code. And we've seen it firsthand how powerful it could make one of these Shinju. It's not something we can comprehend from first glance. We would have to learn more of its origins and properties to fully grasp the benefits of its power. So right here, right now, I feel the Thorn Soul could potentially either have a great effect on Code's chakra signature or greatly alter his appearance. Will it Shinjify him? Or perhaps rewrite his chakra signature to give him the strength and regeneration ability of Ryu? Even though I don't think the last one is a realistic possibility, like I don't see Code out here gaining the ability to use the Iron Sand or anything, but I can't just discard it in the big realm of possibility, especially if I believe his body would go through this insane transformation from the result. But nonetheless, the Thorn Soul should be Code's #1 priority if he hasn't given up on his goal of obtaining the chakra fruit. And besides giving Code a new presence, I feel like the story could possibly benefit from Code becoming more of a threat, basically having 2 major threats for Boruto and the rest to overcome, as I see this mainly being the only way for Code to remain relevant in the series for now. So as far as Code reaching this new level of power, how do you think that would go? How do you think he would go about obtaining this power? Do you agree with me? Or do you think IKEMOTO might plan another way for Code to reach unimaginable power? I'm interested in what everyone thinks, so please feel free to share your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. But without further ado, I think I'm going to end the video here. I more or less said what I needed to say on this topic without dragging on too much or talking in circles. So anyway, as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and wouldn't mind seeing more similar to this in the near future, go ahead and drop that like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss another video like this or when I go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later, and I'm out. Peace.